Away from that, I want us to talk about matters of the fight against corruption. The 9th of December is the day that the International Day on Anti-Corruption. And the theme for this year's day is Uniting the Youth Against Corruption, Shaping Tomorrow's Integrity. In studio, I'm joined by Emily Moria, PhD, who is the Deputy Director, Education and Public Awareness at the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. Welcome to Good Morning, Kenya.
Thank you, Mike.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this day. And first of all, we give the context of the Anti-Corruption Day. Talk about its the significance of commemorating this day, especially when it comes to the month of December, and the focus here is on the youth.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you for having me. Like you've clearly stated, 9th of December is the day that International Anti-Corruption Day is commemorated.
Yes.
And this is done annually, every year, and it's a worldwide commemoration. And what happened is United Nations Convention Against Corruption enacted the convention enacted that every state party that has ratified should be commemorating the International Anti-Corruption Day every 9th of December. Mm-hmm. And Kenya is not left out, mm-hmm, because Kenya has ratified and domesticated the United Nations Convention. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if you look at the theme of this year's Anti-Corruption Day,
yeah,
and it's focusing on the youth, saying that uniting the youth against corruption, shaping the future with integrity. One thing, actually two, why the youth? And two, how was this arrived at?
Okay, the theme, like you've rightly said, is uniting with the youth in the fight against corruption, shaping tomorrow's integrity. Mm-hmm. It goes without saying, the biggest population in the world, not only in Kenya, is comprised of the youth. Yes. The Kenya alone, 75% is youth. That is people under the age of 35, yes, 35 and below. So the youth are the future of not only tomorrow, even today. Mm-hmm. So we need leaders, and we need young people into the leadership arena, and especially in this fight of corruption. We know corruption is a menace right now. It's something which has been very much ingrained into the culture. It's sort of like it's been normalized. Mm-hmm. So other than fighting corruption with the old folks, why not equip and empower the youth who we are looking at being the future of tomorrow? Mm-hmm. And especially empower them on ethics and integrity matters, because corruption is all about ethics and integrity, personal ethics, integrity, and in order to be able to fight corruption, it has to start from self. Yeah, it's a personal decision, mm-hmm, that one has to make. And the youth commanding the biggest population, and they're still energetic, and they're people we are relying on now, then it comes handy that we equip the youth and give them the skills to be able to deal with the menace of corruption. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, you've said something about this effort being about starting with self.
Yeah.
Maybe you could talk about how corruption in this regard now damages a society's economy and its social justice systems.
Oh, corruption, like I said, it's a menace, it's a cancer. You know how cancer can do in one's health. Corruption has no gains at all. It only has personal gains to the person who is involving in corrupt practices. So when we look at the economy, once maybe a country is adversely involved in corrupt matters, which is basically embezzlement of public resources, then what happens to the society? What happens is that you're not able to give service to the people. Let us look at roads, infrastructure. If money which is meant to build a road to take you from point A to B, that money is embezzled, then it means the people are not able to be assisted in actually going on with their day-to-day work. So corruption, when it comes to the economy, it depletes the economy completely. In one of the dailies, it's saying...
yeah, it's actually today's Stars reporting that Kenyans losing 3 billion daily to corruption in state tenders.
Just imagine.
3 billion.
If a country loses 3 billion, what does that translate to? It translates to poor infrastructure, poor service delivery when it comes to health, poor health, education. If corruption permeates itself into the education sector, what do you expect? Are we going to achieve the objective of having knowledgeable citizens in the country? No. And many other things. So corruption is in form of many things: bribery, misuse of public resources. And corruption does not go where there are no resources. Corruption actually chases resources. So in terms of economic, then the country goes down, the per capita of the country goes down. So that's how bad corruption can mess any nation. Socially, people are not able to get good health. People in hospitals, when they go to hospital, they're not able to get medication. And many other services to the people as a result of embezzlement of resources. And also as a public officer, when a public officer is also engaged or involved in corrupt practices, the public officer is supposed to serve the people of Kenya, isn't it? The people of a nation. So if you solicit for bribes, and especially, let me give an example when it comes to procurement. This is 3 billion on tender. 3 billion on tender. One, maybe tender would be translated by inflating of the prices of what you're supposed to tender, or probably supplying substandard goods. So that one is for no good to the society.
Indeed. You know, when it comes to public officers, it dents the image and the perception of the office that they hold. I want you to talk about the role of the UN Convention Against Corruption, because it's in line with Kenya's journey to fighting corruption in this country.
Okay, UNCAC, that is the UN Convention, has helped in providing a legal foundation and institutional framework in fighting corruption. We find under the UN Convention, it's a tool which has helped to strengthen institutions. And then also in the UN Convention, the whole agenda is to prevent corruption or to mainstream ethics and integrity. So it remains the most global tools in guiding Kenyans in the fight against corruption. And we've seen under the UN Convention, we've had laws, the legal framework, like anti-corruption and anti-bribery laws. We've had recently we have the conflict of interest law, which was assented by the president, which involves mainly public officers who are in public offices. Economic Crimes Act of 2003. So the United Nations Convention has helped in mainstreaming the fight against corruption in the form of reinforcing those laws and also continuously improving them so that they may serve the people of Kenya.
How has it helped the EACC in its effort to deal with matters corruption?
It has helped KCC in matters of corruption because it's been able to mainstream these laws. Yeah, and to put, there are various institutions, and Kenya is not the only one in fighting under the UN Convention. Kenya is a state party, and when we talk about also the UN Convention, we'll talk also about the Kenya Leadership and Integrity Forum as we commemorate this International Anti-Corruption Day. There is a Kenya Leadership Integrity Forum, which is comprised of many stakeholders coming on board, because essentially corruption cannot just be fought by one person. So we need to bring other stakeholders on board, like the Office of Attorney General. We've come up together, Ethics and Anti-Corruption, the ODPP offices, other stakeholders like the religious institutions, the civil society also. So when it's a concerted effort, and that is what also ANCAC is promoting, that different stakeholders come together in the fight against corruption. Yeah, indeed.
Let's look at the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission's strategy. First of all, I want you to stress on your mandate in the fight against corruption.
Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission is a constitutional commission which is established pursuant to Article 79 of the Constitution of Kenya. First, it's a lead agency in the fight against corruption. Just to give you an overview, Ethics and Anti-Corruption, as its office is at the headquarters here in Nairobi, and it is also flanked or supported by 11 regional offices. We are widely spread across the country, and the mandate of the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission is to combat and prevent corruption and economic crimes. And Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission is able to do that through a four-pronged approach. And one of the approaches is law enforcement. Under law enforcement is whereby we do recover assets, disruptions of corruption networks, undercover investigations, and the other prong is corruption prevention. And corruption prevention is, you know, like the saying, the old adage saying says, prevention is better than cure. So that's also a strategy, other than just being reactive through asset recovery and investigations. Then we adopt also prevention mechanism. And in this prevention mechanism, this is where now we do what is called corruption risk assessments among the MDAs, that is ministry departments, agencies and counties, review systems of institutions, and also at the same time give advisory. And on the prevention bit as well, we have the third prong, which is public education and awareness. Public education and awareness, which is very crucial here. This is where the youth come in. We do sensitization for the entire citizens of Kenya and creating awareness. And because if you do not create awareness, then people out there, maybe they don't know what they need to do. So we are very intentional on sensitizing and also training. We have a National Integrity Academy, which also does training of specialized courses, both internally and outside. And on the education bit as well, we reach out to young people. Actually, we start from the lowest level, that is the ECD, early education, all the way to institutions of learning, such as TVET, vocational colleges and universities. And we establish what we call the integrity clubs in schools. This being one of the measures to be able to inculcate values, and with a hope, with a view of seeing a character change among the youth. And lastly, on our fourth-pronged approach, we promote standards and good practices. Yeah.
What would you say has been the impact of the approaches that you have given so far?
There's been a lot of impact, especially if we look at the law enforcement bit. We've been able to recover so many assets to the tune of 25 or 24 billion, with 133 cases, assets. Ethics and anti-corruption has also been able to disrupt networks, especially when you get a lead where corruption is about to take place. On the corruption prevention, we've been able to establish mechanisms in many state departments. One, by sensitizing them and also checking their systems and trying to see the loopholes that are seen in their systems. So we've been able to do like about 41 corruption risk assessments in state departments, ministries and departments, and also counties. In the counties, as a quest for good governance, we've been able to establish what we call the corruption prevention committees in the counties. And this is a mechanism to prevent corruption. Yeah, and equipping them with the skills on what areas they need to look at. And we've actually done in very many county executives and county assemblies. On the school front, we've also been able to establish quite a number of integrity clubs, almost to the tune of about between 900 to 1,000 integrity clubs. We've seen a lot of change in discipline in schools. You remember some time back you'd have so many fires in schools, breakage of fires in schools, indiscipline in schools. So through our integrity clubs, we've been able to prevent those kind of behaviors. So it's been quite successful. Yeah, I know it takes some time probably to see the gains of what EACC is doing, but we've done a lot, and it's just a matter of time. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. There's also, you talked about the Kenya Leadership Integrity Forum. Why was it established by EACC?
Like I mentioned earlier, the Kenya Leadership Integrity Forum is a multi-stakeholder, is a multi-agency, which brings together different stakeholders together, drawn from different sectors in Kenya. Civil society, religious groups, executives, So there is, and EACC is a secretariat of the Kenya Leadership Integrity Forum. And the reason for this is, like I said, we cannot win this fight against corruption just by investigating and recovering of assets, right? But you need to bring other stakeholders on board so that we help each other, and that is also the vision of ANCAC, isn't it? To fight corruption as a collective responsibility for all of us. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that also underscores the importance of having a multi-sectoral approach to combating corruption.
Yeah.
Now, let's look at the youth now, because the focus of this year's International Anti-Corruption Day falls on the youth, even from the theme itself, uniting with the youth against corruption, shaping tomorrow's integrity. Why are young people central to this year's anti-corruption education?
Young people are central. Like I said, they command the largest group in the population in this country. And they're the leaders of tomorrow. Actually, they are leading today, and they're the leaders, the main leaders of tomorrow. So as we commemorate the International Anti-Corruption Day, we are bringing youth on board. Because we know also young people, they have young minds. They have fresh ideas, So we can work together as stakeholders. They actually in Cliff also youth are a major stakeholder. So we can bring the youth on board, and also to sharpen our skills on how best to canvass the issue of fighting corruption in the country.
Yeah, we're going to talk more on that aspect of the youth, given that they are the focus of the International Anti-Corruption Day, but we'll do that after this short break. Stay with us. You're still watching Good Morning Kenya, and we are talking about the International Anti-Corruption Day that is set to be commemorated on the 9th of December 2025. And now we're talking about the youth and their involvement in all this. Now, Daktari, how is the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission now integrating integrity engagement with youth as the main strategy?
Ethics and anti-corruption engaging with the youth as a main strategy, it will not have come at a better time. Yeah, like I said, youth command a big number in this country.
Yeah.
The youth are sharp, they know what they want. You noticed the last financial year when the youth were up in arms agitating for good governance.
Yes.
And that was a wake-up call to show that the youth, we cannot undermine them. They know what they want, and they're seeing what is happening.
Yeah.
So we only need to equip them with the necessary skills to be able to take this country to the next level. Yeah. They understand the budgeting processes. Yeah. They understand good and bad leaders. And they also want to be involved in the leadership of this country. And they understand where integrity is lacking. And like I mentioned, corruption has permeated in all sectors of this country. So the youth have not been left out. And if you see that kind of agitation, and being the largest population in the country, they feel disenfranchised, and especially in the sense that if they want, they go to school, they've gone to school, they've been educated, they are professionals. Yeah. For one, McHugh, who are the people who participate or do corrupt practices are professionals, isn't it? They're the lawyers we know who have been taught in the universities, the engineers, isn't it? When you talk about procurement, there are procurement officers, people who have been awarded a degree in their areas. So we need the youth in the fight against this corruption. And when they come out also after finishing school, they don't get jobs, isn't it? So they get frustrated. They are not happy. And why is it that the resources are scarce? Resources will be scarce if the resources have been depleted through corrupt practices. So, like I said, we would not have a better time, but now, to involve the youth in the fight against corruption. And like I said, they are sharp, isn't it? Citizens of Kenya, we can learn a lot about the youth. I'm sure we learned something, even when they went up to the streets. Yeah, regardless of the cons, we learned something.
Yeah.
And don't forget the youth, also, they're very well equipped. They are tech savvy.
Yes.
Yeah. So we want to go to their space. Yeah, we want to go to their space as opposed to continue fighting corruption the traditional way that has been happening. We involve them and we enlist them, we become partners in fighting corruption. Because as a commission also, one of the strategy also is collaboration and partnerships. We are willing to partner with regulatory bodies and professionals. Yeah.
You talked of tech savvy, and that is true because the youth are all over social media. They are in the digital spaces. They are tech savvy. They understand what has to do with the advancements of technology. So how can they leverage these digital tools that they have in social media to promote transparency and raise awareness in matters fight against corruption?
They can leverage technology. We can use the youth in exposing corruption. Yeah, like I said, they are very well equipped, right? We can use, they understand technology. Yes. We can use them actually to be ambassadors. And that is why we have the integrity clubs empowering the youth in schools and the universities. They can be our ambassadors on the ground, right? They can come up, for example, with leveraging technology, they can come up with hubs which can track public spending, right? And then they have the platform to be able to share and tell us this is what is happening. Yeah, youth, they can also through technology do gamifications. You know, like most of us and most Kenyans, I would say 80% people are always on their phones doing this, maybe TikTok. They are on TikTok.
Yes,
the whole
very
day.
vibrant one.
Very vibrant.
Yes.
They're on Instagram. Yeah. They are doing many other things on TikTok, so that why don't we enlist them? They have messages. Yeah, we have thematic messages we can give them. They can disseminate them through their platforms. That is their Instagram platforms or the TikTok platforms. So there's a lot they can do. And we've noticed that the youth, they are demanding for accountability and transparency, right? Yeah. So we cannot frustrate them by just leaving them out. We actually need the youth for this country to change. Yes. Yeah, for the narrative to change. Yeah.
If you're talking about involving the youth in these matters, maybe what would you say are the immediate signs of corruption that the youth should reject in their daily lives?
Well, there are many things that they need, and the most immediate that the youth need to reject in their daily life is obvious bribery. Yeah, bribery is rampant. Yeah. Even in their own setups, let me just give a practical example where they are, even in the universities, especially in the universities. We have youths bribing a lecturer for marks, isn't it? They don't go to class, and you want to bribe to get good marks, and you've not attended class. So I would say one of the things is to shun bribery. And bribery needs to be shunned in its entirety. We are relying on the youth to elect leaders of tomorrow. So we need to equip them and tell them to shun voter bribery when it comes to elections. Why? Because when you vote leaders who are not capable, they're the same leaders who lead you to a ditch tomorrow. And the little money that you've been given is just instant gratification. It is not long term. Yeah. And they need to know that integrity is not a burden. Yeah. Integrity is not a burden, but we need to look at the long term. That is the success of integrity. Yeah.
And also, it also means that there's a role that needs to be played in as far as changing mindset of people in as far as corruption is concerned. Because, for instance, you look at corruption and there's this responsibility that is vested on government to fight corruption. Why is it not that, what is the responsibility of every citizen in as far as corruption, fighting corruption is concerned?
Honestly, every citizen in this country has a role to play. Government alone cannot fight corruption. And we cannot keep on pointing a finger on one person and the other four fingers are pointing on you. And it has to be a concerted effort. Just like we are saying, the CLIPS is a multi-agency, stakeholder, collectively, to fight corruption. So fighting corruption has to start from me and you, Mike. Yeah, it's a personal thing. And if we look at the government alone, the government is not in our houses. There's a lot happening in our houses, isn't it? Most of the corruption starts from the house. So the mindset that you're talking about, it is created and set from a small setup. A family unit is a small setup, isn't it? Many families then become a society, isn't it? We've seen situations whereby, and I like the youth, by the way, because they question. They even ask you, I'm a parent, I have youth, and I have youth asking you, why is this and this happening? Yeah, how do you expect us to be able to move to the next phase if people in the society who have been entrusted to look after us, they don't show a good example? We've seen in family setups where a father or a mother gets a job, changes jobs, and within a very short time, and we know the income in that family, the lifestyle changes drastically. You think these youth in the house do not see? They see. They might not question. And again, when they question, maybe you do not have an answer, or because you're a parent, there's that respect. So what am I saying? I'm saying, and I need to be forgiven for that, corruption also starts from our houses. Parenting is crucial. I remember days in the back where disciplining a child was not only a responsibility of the father and the mother.
Yes.
Disciplining a child, anyone else would discipline, even a neighbor, isn't it? Even by the roadside, if somebody saw you doing something which is not good, they will discipline you. But what has happened today? Career fathers and mothers, you've abdicated the work of disciplining either to the teachers. How many pupils do the teachers have? And some of us parents, maybe even when the teacher disciplines, you quickly run to school to say, oh, I don't want my child to be done A, B, C, D. So the fight against corruption, like I say, it's everybody to come on board and fight corruption all the way from our houses, then out to the society. Because these people that you're seeing outside there in the society, that we are demonizing, they come from homes.
Yes.
So mine is, it's supposed to be a collective responsibility.
Yes, indeed. And given that the youth are the focus of this year's anti-corruption day activities, we've talked about their role, but then again, from your own perspective, how would you say, or what could you suggest as complementary interventions that could enhance the power of the youth, especially when it comes to influencing government policies in the fight against corruption?
Involve them. Let's have youth leaders, even in government. Yeah. Let's have youth in places that matter, policy making. And that is what they want. They just don't want to be told, do this, do that. They want to be part of the process. So we need to actually bring youth on board as part of the process. Policy making, then the fight against corruption, then it will be easy. When they're involved, they feel they're part and parcel of the process, isn't it? Yes. And even many times when you go to forums, and you find only adults just talking to the youth. You don't give them a chance to talk. There's a lot that they have to say. Yeah, so we need to actually bring them on board and make them busy. And that's why I'm saying through our integrity club, establishing of integrity clubs, we want to have ambassadors on the ground. Because even we at EACC has a population of only barely 800 staff. We cannot go to each and every place. So we need other people to help us in the fight against corruption and inculcating ethics and integrity in the society.
Yes.
Yeah.
You did talk about the role of every citizen, but also there's also the aspect of electing leaders of integrity. How does that impact the fight against corruption?
Like I mentioned, and I've mentioned bribery, may it be in a school setup or voter bribery. And one of the things that we sensitize youth about, when you vote the wrong leaders who do not have integrity, what is the outcome? It's expected, isn't it? And you see, you'll find many people, because you've been given 200 shillings, you elect a leader. But how long does 200 shillings take you? You've gotten only 200 shillings and you've elected a leader for 5 years. Like we were having the discussion, if you divide that money,
Yes.
5 years, how much is it? Does it help you? So, and not only youth, all of us as Kenyans, we have to make the right decisions. Not to elect a leader just because you like him or her,
Yes.
but because of the values that that leader upholds. Yeah. And a person who can take the country to the next level.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, we talk about that, but there's also the aspect of political will in this fight. What do you do, how would you say, or what is the significance of having a decisive political will in the fight against corruption, and especially in Kenya? How can it be strengthened?
Political will, it's obvious. Also, without a political will, it's not possible to fight corruption. Yeah. We've seen Singapore was able to be where it is today because of political will. It was nothing else. It was purely political will. So political will is crucial, and because if the leaders of the day do not see the need of preserving the resources of this country, then it will be a futile fight agenda. So I believe and I trust that we have the political will right now as EACC, and we need to do our job. Yeah.
Yes. And also, this matters to do with public awareness and education. Would you say civic education would shift culture from tolerance of corruption to raising levels of accountability in this fight?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Civic education would be by actually enlightening and empowering them to see what you're seeing, because they need to see what you're seeing. Though sometimes out there people have other major problems. And like you said, corruption looks like it's been normalized. And like I've said, everything starts from the home setup.
Yes.
Because those people out there are from a home, isn't it? So civic education for them to realize when you engage in them that if your money is eaten, it translates to a bad road, isn't it? If your money is embezzled somewhere, it translates to poor health, isn't it?
Yes.
It translates to what? Poor education. The other day, the Ministry of Education concertedly has been fighting to try and bring things to normal.
Yes.
Having ghost students in school, and there's capitation that the government is releasing to those schools. So the citizens need to know, even when you realize that is happening, you call out, isn't it? Even as a student. In a school setup, okay, for a student it will be very hard to know really the nominal role that the principal has, but other people need to call out. So if we are able to report these corrupt practices, then civic education, and we will empower them through civic education and tell them, report any corrupt practices. And EACC has very many mechanisms of reporting corruption. Yeah, the witness is protected. You can make an anonymous call through our BKMS system. There is a toll-free number, 1551, that you can call to report corruption. Our EACC numbers, I don't have them offhand, or even an email. And EACC is open for you to report corruption. You can walk in there and report corrupt practices. Yeah.
Okay. Now, we did talk about the Kenya Leadership Integrity Forum earlier on, but what would you say is their clarion call message in as far as mobilizing the nation in the fight against corruption is concerned?
Yeah, Cliff, like I told you, it's a multi-agency, a stakeholder, bringing all stakeholders together. and fighting corruption collectively. Their clarion call is pamoja tudumishe maadili. That's the clarion call. Yeah. We have to come together to inculcate integrity and ethics.
Yes.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Finally, there's this vision of tuangamize ufisadi, tuijenge Kenya. What would you say is the most important commitment that we can all make to achieve that vision?
EACC vision is values and integrity-driven society. Our vision is to have a society that has good morals, good values. So with that, we'll be able to angamiza ufisadi, to jenge Kenya. Yeah, if we cannot fight corruption, then we cannot jenga this country.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, and you know, this is something that is ongoing in as far as fighting corruption is concerned. I want to give you 30 seconds to give your closing remarks.
My closing remarks is to say, in line with our vision as Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, our values and integrity-driven society, and I would like first to say this to the youth. We need the youth in the fight against corruption seriously as our ambassadors. And one thing they ought to know is that integrity is not a burden. It's something that will give you freedom in the end. So my part in short is, and what I would like also to tell Kenyans is, to educate a child, you need a tribe, not one person. So we have to come together concertedly to bring everybody on board to fight the menace of corruption.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Very important.
Yeah.
Integrity is not a burden.
Yeah.
It will set you free.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Dr. Emily Moria, PhD, the Deputy Director, Education, Public Awareness, Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, speaking to us about the International Anti-Corruption Day that is set to be celebrated on the 9th of December. And the theme is Uniting with Youth Against Corruption, Shaping Tomorrow's Integrity. That is where we cap this conversation. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Mike Migu. Up next is Vivian Ndegwa with Family Check. Stay with us.